Next up is Shri Rathinam, SCTS Communications Secretary, who's going to give us an update with all the ways that he is communicating with you all on behalf of the Society. Shri.
Thank you, Noreen. So most of you who were here last year would have seen bits of it, because traditionally we've had a communications secretary, but we haven't had a subcommittee. But the way things are going and progressing, both with social media, with so many things which is coming out of the SCTS agenda, we felt we should have a subcommittee. So the whole idea of the subcommittee is to communicate to the membership about the activities of the organization, showcase what the various co-chairs are achieving in their own subcommittees, both for members as well as public, and more importantly, get more people as members of the SCTS. So we started off with the co-chair, which will be the ComSec, and the senior exec officer, which is Rana, and then the bulletin editor, the journal editor, meeting secretary, the website director, and social media lead, and the office staff. So last year, this time, this was our committee. We had Clinton Lloyd looking after the website, which Naren put in a lot of hard work to get up to speed as to how it is now when he was honorary secretary. Indu's done a spectacular job as the editor. Vipin Zamwar came in both as a trustee and as editor-in-chief of JTCS, because we wanted to have an official outlet for the SCTS throughput. And of course, our office staff, Isabel, Tilly, Emma, and Tate. Now, our committee's increased. We have 2 more consultant members brought in specifically for the role of showcasing the SCTS activities over the last 10 years with the SCTS University. So Bill Kermani and Jeremy Smelt have been approached, and they have the task of putting all the repository of the videos of the SCTS University into an online textbook, because we have key opinion leaders from world over who've educated us. And Mr. Ionescu, who used to fund the university, has said he will support with his leftover funds with the SCTS. We then have a bunch of young and energetic trainees and TADs. And the interesting thing is, when we interviewed half of them, they were all trust doctors. And surprisingly, they all went on to get their ST1 numbers. So become a committee member if you want to get their national selection the next time. And they all have brought in a lot of ideas, both with social media, developing it as an app. Hanad, who's now in the Northwest, is working on the website and has created a bespoke page for Pectus, left-handed surgeon, and each one is bringing a lot of things. And we also have our own perfusion representative, Lee, and then Lee Palima, who's the NAHP representative. So the committee has grown, and the latest recruit who is not there as a consultant member is Umar, who's a cardiac surgeon in Nottingham, who's volunteered to update the SCTS patient information leaflet, which was done a few years ago by Simon and Christina Bannister with Bupa. So we're re-looking at having bespoke patient information leaflets. And any young and up-and-coming thoracic surgeon who wants to put their hand up, please contact us, and we can do that for the thoracic side of things. We all have been barraged with emails after emails from SCTS. One of my tasks, which Naren asked me to do, is to streamline it all. I don't know how many of you read our weekly newsletters, but we try to get everything in a consolidated email, and anything which is more pertinent comes as a direct email from the president or the honorary secretary. So I think we've achieved in bringing the email traffic from the SCTS down. The other thing which we said is we will have what I wanted as a monthly update showcasing the non-surgical elements or the softer side of the specialty. I was told, look, do you want to start with a quarterly objective initially? I was very ambitious. I thought everybody will be dying to tell us what they do. So we've had the first 2 editions of From the Chest. Nobody knew our ex-president Graham Cooper was a fantastic cook, so he shared his culinary exploits. Jonathan Unsworth-White, the sailor, and in the next issue, which will come out in the first week of October, Shiladijit Ghosh, a thoracic surgeon, as an actor, performer, who's gone to the Edinburgh Fringe. So there's lots of talent in you. Tell us what you do outside medicine. Showcase your unit. We've had the Liverpool Thoracic Heritage. The team from Harefield have sent a story about their cardiac surgery heritage. Each unit has a story to tell, particularly if you worked in a unit which is closed already. We heard about units which were closed in thoracic surgery, but they all have history, like the Killingbeck Hospital in Yorkshire and the likes. Tell us, we can showcase. And hot off the press, the other thing which we've said we will do is to showcase all our lifetime achievement awardees from SCTS, both in the website, but also put their profiles in the monthly newsletter. The bulletin, Indu will be editing her last edition this Christmas, and we've asked for expressions of interest for a deputy to follow her through that process and then take it on to the next level. The positive thing with the bulletin is traditionally we have paid a company to attract monies from industry and publish the bulletin. Last year, we made the conscious decision that we will raise the funding, but we'll just pay them for the publishing fee. And we've actually made a profit. And there's discussions as to how much is paper, how much is paperless going forwards. Oh, I think I've gone back, sorry. So Mara did the cover work for the inaugural issue, our administrator. That's the first issue of Heart and Chest. The second one was a photograph by one of the trust doctors from Glasgow. So you're all artists, photographers, send us pictures. And we will announce a competition. So the best picture about autumn will get a free ticket to the next annual meeting for the dinner. So let us know. We've already talked about the proceedings of the SCTS INSQ University over the years. Equally well, SCTS Education as a brand, you had Elizabeth telling us what spectacular work has happened in the last year, but this is a 10-year journey, starting off with when Mike and Rajesh were education secretaries, with Naren and I as young surgeons doing the tutor job. So we've decided we'll bring a monologue for the next annual meeting, which will showcase this journey with a blueprint if some other specialty wants to replicate. When we started this, we thought within a year, every other specialty will be doing it. To date, a decade on, SCTS is the only specialty association across any surgical medical specialty in the world offering this portfolio, which is vetted by the curriculum, by the SAC, and delivered by the Specialist Association. So the other thing which we need money to do all of this. So we've come up with a preliminary brochure, which will consolidate the offerings of the society, be it the meetings team, be it the research, be it education, so that when somebody comes and says, we want to engage with the society, we can give them. What we will urge you, especially for those people working in affluent area, there's a lot of benefactors. My hospital's just bought a robot because her patient decided, I have £1 million, what do you want to do with it? So if there are people like that, get in touch with us. We will approach so that the society as a whole benefits. I mentioned about the journal. I don't know if you've picked the last annual meetings. Abstracts all have been published in the Journal of Thoracic and Cardiac Surgery, with plans to do that this year. Going forwards, we will try to reinvent what used to come as a perspectives book of all the main presentations from the university into the journal. I have bombarded most of you with emails. Emma has chased you all with emails, but the Board of Representatives report is of paramount importance. A, it tells us what is happening in the unit. B, it gives us a handle on the manpower so we can feed back to Tim Jones saying, look, this is the lie of the land. These units have expanded. We had a discussion about the service provision framework. So we, between 4 surgeons, do the same work. A sister unit 40 miles from us does with 6 surgeons. It's job planning, it is a provision. So the BORS report is important. For those of you who have not sent an updated version, please get it to us this weekend so that it goes as a contemporaneous evidence. And I'm going to pause here and ask you, will people find it easier if it is something like a Google form where you can click and add? Because this needs to be updated every year. And by the time we start the process and finish, manpower has changed, people have changed. So what I propose with the exec's permission is to have a timeline saying, look, this is the cutoff, but if there are changes, please let us know. You don't want to see the same surgeon in 2 units in the report. SCTS as an international body has engaged with the developing world. We were approached by Egypt to support their 25th anniversary meeting with a dozen of us going and running the meeting for them. There is talks now. They want us to help them with the next meeting in April. Likewise, Malaysia want to try to use the softer aspects of our SCTS education portfolio into their curriculum, because their curriculum is built on the UK curriculum and the similarity. We helped the Indian Association run its thoracic component. So Maninda Calcutta and I ran the thoracic component for the last year's conference, and we are actively supporting them with the next year conference. So there is engagement for the wider engagement. We are part of the English College's global strategy. I've represented Narain in a couple of meetings, likewise the sustainability working group of the both UK Alliance and the college. The website is constantly evolving. It is rather a bit difficult when you want to put a deadline and get certain things which are actually affecting our members. So the first one which we concentrated and got the pointers is the bullying, harassment, underbuying. The PEC test bits are already on the website. The left-handed surgeon's resources are there. We will have something for member well-being, and likewise the surgical site infection will have a specific area, because a patient who suffered from it has donated some money wanting other patients to have. So all of these things are evolving. Please have a look and feedback to us saying, look, this can be tweaked, or we want this should be more accessible. The other thing is we started doing it till COVID hit, which is the SCTS seniors reaching out to the units for half an hour, 45 minutes to discuss how we can help you, telling your unit, especially if you have units where half the surgeons are not members, or you have trainees or trust doctors who are not members, to tell you what we offer. So what we will do is we'll send you out a Google form with the times and dates when the exec is available. So it's on a first comes, first served basis. We'll do it from the new year, so that if you say, okay, Basildon wants that week, Wolverhampton wants this week, then I will bring Narain and Rana and the other big cheese, Bhuvan as the NAHP lead, and we will try to support your units as much. And the last thing before I finish, I don't know if a lot of you have registered for the SCTS ACTAC joint meeting, which is in the RSM in November. A lot of work has gone into it. It was cancelled last year. It's a trans-specialty meeting of working well with our anesthetists. So if you have not registered, if you're not aware of the program, please have a look and register. And of course, the SCTS annual meeting, the abstracts deadline, and we'll see you all in Wales. Happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri. Phenomenal amount of work you've been doing since you took up the post, and it's really important how we as SCTS communicate with our members, but also equally to give you avenues for contacting us and everything. So just thank you for everything you've done. I can't stress enough Shri's comment about the BORS report. It's really powerful document. Knowing what the workforce is out there, especially consultants, but also your best practices that others can get ideas from and can contact you from. So really encourage those units that haven't yet submitted their BORS report to contact Shri and get it in as soon as possible, because we're keen to get that information out so that units can benefit from that. Any questions for Shri at all?
Hi, Shri. As Narain says, I mean, it's just unbelievable how you've transformed this. It's brilliant. You asked a question of us, and that was, do you think this would be easier doing it via a kind of Google form? Personally, I think it would. And I think that, you'd get a bit of information about who's submitting it as well. Might be easier to chase up. And it could even maybe sort of almost auto-populate a document. So I'd go for that.
Thank you for that, and thank you, Shri, again for all your hard work.